Hey guys, this is Ashley. Welcome on back to my channel. So, I am happy to be here today. Today, I am talking about the Amor y Mariposa's eyeshadow palette and the Monara blush palette. Please forgive my Spanish. But if you are new to this channel, welcome. And if you're oldie but goodie, welcome on back. My name is Ashley. I have a doctorate in pharmacy. I love makeup. That's how you get Dr. Ash and her makeup. Eyeshadow is my jam. But please just call me Ash or Ashley. Like I just mentioned, we have 5 looks today using the new Melt Holiday collection. So, yes, super beautiful. Look at this packaging. So this is actually the packaging of the actual palette. Oh, let me get the unicarton 1 second. All right, so I got the unicarton and this is what it looks like. Oh, look, so vibrant, gold, little holographic. Once again, Melt kills it with the packaging. This is the packaging for the blush palette. Can we get it the right way? There we go, right here. So the palette, actually, there were so many different launch dates when it came to this collection in true Melt fashion, but it actually just drives me crazy because when I see the collection, I'm like, I just want it. I don't want to have to deal with when is it coming to Sephora. I can get on your website. Is it going to sell out? It's just so much madness when it always comes to their holiday collections. But the PR, there was a huge PR set. I'm going to try to throw a photo right here. And that will retail for $450. Absolutely crazy, but you got every piece that came in this collection, including you got the brushes, the lipsticks, and the gel liners, the blush palette, and the eyeshadow palette. Now, on the 12th, which was kind of like a surprise, you were able to get the collection individually. Or you can get some bundle deals, which I chose to do. I got the blush palette and the palette together, and these two retailed for $90 as a set, or either this would have been $70 or this would have been $58, so $90 together. I wasn't mad there. Then it's coming to Sephora Black Friday, and it's only pieces of the collection. I don't think the whole collection is coming. So once again, Melt drives me crazy with that. Not to mention, when this launched on the 12th, you were able to use a code to save an additional, I want to say 20%, which is great, but it wasn't known on the website. You had to be signed up for their email list. So I did get 20% off of that. I didn't know there was a code, but I found out it was a code. I emailed them. They refunded me the money. So great. Now, let's get into the nitty gritty. This is the Amor y Mariposa eyeshadow palette, or really is a pressed pigment palette. And we are talking about 20 shades. This is Melt's first large 20 shade palette. This is their first palette with circle pants. I don't even think I realized that when the collection hit, and it is gorgeous. And as you can see, there is 4 distinct color schemes here in this palette, but of course you can go ahead and mix and match. The packaging is beautiful. You have a nice sturdy mirror right here, and it's distributed by Melt Cosmetics out of Chatsworth, California, and this palette is actually made in Italy, and it is very sturdy. It actually has a little bit of weight on it. And then we also have the blush palette, and this is actually made in the United States of America, and I like the gold palette packaging on here. It's so beautiful. So as far as the blush palette, you do have 6 different blushers in here, and you have some that are matte, and then the other ones are pearl textures. So the matte ones will be this one, and this one, and those are Flor, Camingo, and Rosa and Margaritos. And then the pearl ones is actually Vita and Felice. And the pearl ones can actually be used as a blush or a blush topper, or you can use them as a highlighter. This particular palette is also vegan, and the net weight of this particular palette is 15.8 grams. So like I did just mention, I have 5 looks for you. I'm going to demo the blush palette as well. And I also have a couple other new products like the Melt Mascara. I also have the Milk Hydrogrip primer. This is a new eyeshadow primer that I'm trying out in this video. Of course, we're going to wrap up with some final thoughts at the end of the video. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. My eyebrows are filled in using my Goof pencil shade 3.75. Today, however, I am trying, this is the Milk Makeup Hydrogrip primer, and it's also like a primer for your concealer. I do have on face makeup from like earlier today, but I wanted to give this a try, so we'll see how it works. It could be a wise decision or not a wise decision, since I think this is somewhat like a new formula for Melt, you know, but hey, let's try this out. Now this is a clear eyeshadow primer. It does have a wand. I hope this is worth something, because you know how I feel about my eyeshadow primers. I'm like, there's Urban Decay, and I like my Juvia's Place one, but it's not many that can compare. So, I'm pretty much primed. I'm gonna let it get a little tacky, and let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, I am back, and here are the first two looks. So, the craziest thing happened. Well, really not crazy. For the second time this week, when I got ready to film this eye after changing my camera battery, I forgot to hit record while I was filming the look. So I got the eye all together, got ready to do the lashes and liner, and realized I was not recording. And as much as I didn't want to take the look off, I did, and I refilmed it. So you can see how these shades perform. Now, a standout shade to me is this mustardy shade, which is M.A.C. I am terrible with names. So that is M.A.C. And I did find that the shimmers are really beautiful, but I did find that I had to wet them in order to perform. The mattes feel really good, and so far they are layering over each other, so I really do appreciate it. This purple shade, Noob, is really, really purple. It is holding up and is coming off as purple, which can be really hard to do for this particular shade that is purple. So now let's go ahead and talk about the two looks. So I really love this eye. This eye is so pretty, and the standout shade for me is the mustard shade, which is called M.A.C. So M.A.C. is right here. It is really, really pretty, really, really beautiful, and it really appears mustardy. So I really like that, and I'm looking in the viewfinder and I'm like, okay, you can actually see the definition in that color, because a lot of times mustardy shades don't always pop the best on my complexion. It has to be a really good mustard for it to work. And then the mattes are really layering on top of each other very well. Now right here I have a little bit of patchiness, but I didn't go back in. I tend to get patchiness right here. So I don't know if that was me or the eyeshadow primer or the shadow. So I'm assuming it's probably a little bit of both, because I think it's the primer and me. I don't really think it's the shadow. Now the shimmers, I found that are really, really beautiful. This is more of a simple monochromatic look that just kind of going down the first line of the palette and then just popping in with the rose gold shade for our inner corner highlight. But I really like this eye. Now the shimmers, like I mentioned before, I did find that I needed to wet them. Even I did go ahead and use my Sonia G, what is this? The Worker Pro. No, this is the Builder Pro brush right here. And this is usually really good for shimmer shades. I do have that Refer P21 that is excellent for shimmer shades. But it was like you really just get most of the pigmentation when you use your finger, or I found that you had to just kind of go ahead and wet the shades. The shades were a little bit stickier, so wetting it or maybe using like a Pat McGrath intensifies is really going to be like probably the best move. The shade Tequila in this inner corner, ooh, it is such a pretty gold, like really, really pretty. I really like that the mattes are layering on top of each other. You can see the definition, like on this one you can see mustard, you can see green, you can see purple. And here, this particular shade really actually shocked me too, which was Te Adoro. This doesn't look very dark, but it gave something. I was shocked. I was like, I'm not sure if we're really going to get some, you know, good color payoff, but we really did. And then, you know, I decided to throw on my little butterfly earrings, because I was like, oh, how appropriate, when I was looking for some earrings to wear. You know, that's been like a thing as of lately that I haven't had to do, because I couldn't wear earrings because of this ear. If you guys are new to this channel, I had to get this ear re-pierced. And then for my lip combo, I did go in with the Bella Amour. This is one of the Divinyls from Pat McGrath Labs, and paired it with Current lip liner. So now you know I picked up the blush palette, so here she is. Now I wore the blush palette actually earlier today to work, and it did wear really, really well. And the shades were quite pigmented. So I did put on bronzer. I wore my Gucci bronzer in Tan 04. That's the one I usually wear. And I want to go in with Sun Rosa. This is the shade I used earlier today. And then I want to top it off with Vita. And Vita is one of my favorite shades out of this palette. It is really, really stunning. So let's go ahead and throw a little bit of that on. I'm just using a regular brush that I use, which is this Christian Siriano brush. And I did notice that you do have to be kind of gentle when packing this on, just because there is a little kick up. So, and it does seem really pigmented. So, as you can see, So I was kind of worried on how it would do with deeper skin tones. I still am. Like, I think this shade would be really nice. Oh, sorry, you can't see it. This shade right here. But as you can see, it is giving some nice color. And I am just sucker for terracotta orangey blushes. Like, I usually wear some shades like pink, well, this is more of a hot pink, but usually use like more muted pinks, like Cherish by Pat McGrath Labs, just because, you know, it usually just blends really well with whatever you're wearing. So I'm just gonna pop that on the cheeks. And it blends out so well. Blush Melt has some of my favorite blushers. I absolutely love the set they came out with last year, which was the what was it, like the honey collect. Let me show you. I have these two shades right here, which are Raw Honey and Queen Bee. Queen Bee is my favorite. This is Queen Bee right here. As you can see, it's kind of worn through. Getting a little dip action in there. And I have the shade Raw Honey. So this is very pretty also. And you can wear these without even having to do like any bronzer. So I appreciate that. So this is what the blush is looking like so far. Looking very warm. I'm feeling very tropical. And now I'm going to pop in with Vita, which is more of, it can be a blush or it can be a highlight. So I'm going to choose to do it more like a highlight. This is what it looks like on the brush. Really pretty. And the shift on this, oh my gosh, when I swatched this yesterday, I was like, you know what? Just stop it. That is just, you see the shift? I'm here for it. This is really pretty. And I was like, you know, because when I saw it was a blush palette, I was like, I knew I wanted to get it because I like those blushes I just showed you. But then I was like, But then I saw all the orangey goodness. And when I swatched this yesterday, I was like, oh, I'm so happy I picked this up. So this is what we're looking like for the first two looks. Fix myself up here. There we go. All right. So it is so pretty. And that sheen. Oh no, earring, don't fall out. That's the only thing about these earrings. Like, how are these really supposed to stay in? Like, honestly, come on now. There we go. But you know. So so pretty. So let's go ahead and jump in with some more. Alright guys, so I reprimed my eyelids and I'm actually going to go in with the Urban Decay Primer Potion, which is my standard. And I just wanted to show you, this is the eye where I had that purple shade, which is called Noob or Nube. And it did stain some, so I'm okay with that, but I just wanted to let you know if you have an issue with that. Probably it might be stained a little bit more if I had the shadow on a little bit longer. But let's go ahead and jump in with this eye. All right, I'm back, and here are the next two looks, and these are so pretty. This neon shade, oh, it's so good. It's really pretty. It is the color Albueta. Like, really stunning. But I'm sure that you can get some staining with this particular shade as well. I was like, can you guys even see it? There we go. That's this shade in the middle. Now, I really like the shade of Sangraro because Sangraro, it really kind of turned kind of purpley, which is the shade right here when you stuck it next to that purple shade. And I was really shocked by the shade Abrazos because I was not expecting it to be so red because I knew we had this shade down here, Perla, that was actually more red. So that actually kind of shocked me that that was so red. But I think both of these looks are really beautiful. The gold shade, what is this? Mesquite. Really pretty gold. But I really like Mariposa. This orange is really stunning. And when you pair it next to the rose gold, it doesn't look as in your face as it can look, you know, by itself. So the mattes blended out really well. I didn't have any problem with them layering on top of each other. For this particular look, I decided to change up the lip and go in with Audacious by Propa Beauty. She is right here. Little darkened berry look. And then I kind of wiped away some of the blush that we had on before, which was the shade Sun Rosa. So this time I want to pop in with the pink, and then maybe we'll use Felice down at the bottom as a topper. So I still have on a little bit of the other shade, but that's fine. You know, we could just kind of layer it up because I don't want to go too pink on the cheeks right here. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the shade Floor. Oh my gosh. Okay. See. Oh, it's like on my shirt too. Okay, so I said, dab it off on my towel over here. Kind of bring it down. Oh my God, it's everywhere. Just gonna pop a little on my cheeks. So you have to go in kind of carefully. You know, with this, if you have a really fluffy brush, you have to be careful because it has a lot of kick up, so you need to go in. I would just take one little dab. Don't swirl it in. It's going to be a disaster. There you go. So that shade is actually really pretty. Okay, together. And then, like I said before, just going to take the other brush. Now the powdery shades like this, they have more kick up. This one I know is a little bit too light, but the ones that have more shimmer, they don't have as much kick up. But I would still be careful with it. And then here we have Felice. And this one is really pretty too. It's more standard girl, but Vita is the shade for me. This one is more like a standard melony gold, peachy gold, but that Vita has that shift to it that I'm digging. So these are these two looks. Really pretty. So let's go ahead. Let's jump into one more look. Alright, so I have the Supernatural mascara here by Melt, and this is a new product. So I just got this with the VIB sale, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on. I don't want to do lashes for the look because I don't think my eye can really take it. And this is what the wand looks like. So really good wand for me considering I have really fine lashes, really dainty lashes. I've used this twice? Yeah, I've used this twice so far. So far, I don't know. It's not bad, but I'm really not a good judge of mascaras until like halfway through. So I do like the consistency. I think I'm liking it more now because, I don't know, you know, I love a fresh mascara, but when it's so fresh, it's like, doesn't do anything. But this one has like a lot of claims, you know, bold lashes. I don't have any lashes. Like, I literally need to go under. I need to go on top. I need to do a lot to get these babies looking like something. Okay. So, just going to do a couple coats of these and I'll be right back. Alright, so here is the fifth and final look, and if this doesn't scream holiday, like, I don't know what to tell you, okay? So this is definitely like a very holiday look, green, burgundy, and champagne, but it's really, really pretty. I do like it, and these shades blended out so well, and I got a chance to try that green again, and it's a lot better, not patchy. So like I said, it could have been a primer that I used the first time around when I used the shade, or maybe I just didn't put enough shadow there because like I said, in this little fold, that little piece of skin right there, it does tend to get caught, my shadow that is. So same lipstick as before with the last two looks. Let's go ahead, let's jump in, let's talk about this collection. Like I said before, I'm not a good judge of mascaras when I first opened them, so I'm not going to really know if I really like it until maybe a couple weeks from now. But so far I do like it. My lashes look pretty decent. It did coat them well enough, so that's one thing I look for with mascaras. I need a heavy coating because I don't have a lot of lashes, so I need the volume, I need the length, I just need it all, okay? So, but the packaging, I mean, it's Melt. Like, you know, the packaging is dope. And I want to say this retails for $24. I mean, it is a nice, substantial, heavy tube. I really like that. I like the wand on this because I'm able, with the middle part, to get those really fine lashes because it dips in and it's a little bit thinner there, and I still get the volume with the end of the wand. Now, let's jump in and talk about this palette, the Mariposas, Amor y Mariposas palette. First of all, okay, you already know, like, they killed it. They killed it with the packaging. Melt always has bomb packaging. Like the heart with the flowers, the roses, and the embossed butterflies. These monarch butterflies on here are so beautifully done. I mean, look how they are embossed. I mean, the whole pack, this part is embossed also, but the packaging is wonderful. Melt always kills it for me with the packaging. Like, they just think of everything, and every detail of the palette is always so beautiful. Like the spine, the back. I like how it has the Melt in the gold right here. Now this part is a sticker where it says it's distributed, but it's flush, and I do appreciate that. And then even on the mirror with the butterflies, I do have the plastic over, and then around the shades, it is so pretty. Now, I do like how this is a different feel for Melt. I like that it is circle pans. I was confused at first. I didn't even realize at first that they were circle pans. I was just like, oh, it's pretty. Like, and then it didn't even hit me that it was 20 shades. I was just like, oh, it's pretty. I like it. You know, so I think this is a lot of fun and I enjoy the switch up. And I know some people were talking about like, oh, maybe this should have been like 2 palettes, or I was having a conversation with a friend. And I was like, no, because you know, we had the Beetlejuice palette that was 2 palettes. And then we also had the Amour Eternal collection right here. That was 2 palettes. And so I like that you get the 20 shades for 1 palette, because Melt palettes are a little more on the expensive side. Like this palette retails for $70. You know, before the Beetlejuice collection, it was 2 palettes. One was 10 shades, one was 8 shades. So one was like 48, the other one's in the 50s. So right then and there, we would have been like, if we wanted both palettes, because with Melt, like, who are we kidding? Like, we're going to want both halves because we're going to see what happens. We know one's going to sell out. We're going to be upset about it. So I rather just have the 1 palette, pay the $70 versus 2 palettes and being almost at $90. Then I really do like the blush palette. I think it was something different for them. I really like blush from Melt. And I do have one concern. I don't know if really deep skin tones can wear the palette. So I haven't seen any reviews with anybody with a deeper skin tone. Of course, this shade right here, there we go. It's definitely going to pull deeper. If you're fairy, you can use it as a bronzer. Otherwise, I think the shades are really great. I have a medium deep skin tone. I wear like usually a Pat McGrath medium deep 22. I'm wearing this Marc Jacobs foundation at the moment, which is tan Y480. This is something I'm like trying to pan. So the only shade that really isn't going to do me much favor is Margaritos. But other than that, like the shades are really, really beautiful. And the packaging is stunning. I like how it's gold and it kind of actually goes along with the unicarton of these palettes versus just, you know, maybe doing this. So I like how it's separate. And I think that these two together are just so freaking cute. Once again, the butterfly is embossed on here. And this actually retailed for $58. So for a blush palette, it's pretty expensive, but like I said, these duos I think were in the high 20s, almost $30 range. Melt is not a lower brand. Like they are a mid-range brand. So I think the pricing is pretty much on par with everything. Now, like I said, I did get this as a bundle. So the bundle together was $90. So if I was buying both of these together, I was already at $128 plus tax. So getting this bundle at $90 with additional 20% off really made it a great deal. However, let's talk about the color story, okay, in the shadows, because that's really what's most important outside of the packaging. Now, the shadow choices, I think the color story is absolutely gorgeous. I think you have so many options here. I think it can be a little overwhelming if you're trying to figure out what type of color story. And then again, it's not overwhelming because you can just go straight down the line in one swoop and you have a look picked out if you want to go to monochromatic. And then I do see some quads in here that you can definitely use. So I think the layout is great. I like these shadows. I mean, this is considered to be a pressed pigment palette. So basically that means that, you know, some of the shadows might cause some staining as we saw with the shade Noob. But overall, I like how they have a moussey texture. They don't feel dry compared to most mattes that Melt Cosmetics does. Melt has never really had an issue with the mattes, and some formulas have been hit and miss, but I do like the formula of this palette. Everything has blended really beautifully, even on top of the Milk Makeup Primer that I was testing out. I didn't have any problem with that. I just wish with the shimmer shades that they can get that formula together, because the shimmer shades are really beautiful. Of course, they're going to look great when you swatch them on your arm, but apply them to the eye, you definitely going to need to like wet them. You're going to need to go with maybe a glitter glue. You're going to need to maybe go in with like the Pat McGrath intensifies or just something like that, some mixing medium, just to get them to really pop and adhere. But I feel like you just have so many different color choices. It's grungy, it's vibrant, you can go neutral, so you can get a lot of wear out of this palette. And I like that the pans are a little bit smaller. Since I'm not panning any eyeshadows anytime soon, the smaller pans, it works for me. So overall, I really like this collection. I don't know if I'm like totally in love with it, but I have to let you know. So I will definitely come back with my, my final thoughts when I do my palette roundup to let you know how I'm feeling about this palette. But so far, so good. There are some really pretty color stories in here. Packaging is just giving me all the life. It's, yeah, A for packaging for sure. So down below, please let me know what you guys think of this collection. Let me know what you think of the looks. What looks were your favorite? I definitely love look number 2 on this eye. And oh my gosh, look number 3 with the neon and the orange and the rose gold. That was a vibe. And I really like this look, this Christmas look. I could actually really wear this. So let me know down below what was your favorite look. Give this video a big thumbs up. Hit the notification bell so you know when I come out with another video, which will be very, very soon. And please subscribe to my channel because you know I would love to have you here in my little makeup family. And you already know how we end the videos around these parts. We gotta hit it with the chat ass. Chat ass. Ay, 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 chat ass. Chat ass. Dang, this earring won't stay still. Chat ass. All right, y'all. Bye.